We're going to start off with a nice heart shape, lightly in pencil. We're going to cut out this heart shape later, so it doesn't matter if it's not perfect. Now I'm just going to add a very diluted yellow, and I'm going to show the basic shapes of the lovebirds. So this one on the left hand side, I'm just going to colour it all in watercolour. And then I'm going to put the other one quite close to the left hand one, because their beaks are going to be touching as if they're kissing. I know, very romantic. So I'm going to colour this one in as well. And then now I'm going to add a little bit down the bottom, like a little triangle, just to show the tails, and it's going to be just below the branch. Now I'm adding some green, and I'm just letting the watercolours do its thing. Here I'm going to add a little bit of a dark green. There we go, just because the wings are a little bit darker. But what I love about watercolour is that you've got really no control over it. You just have to let it do its own thing. And yeah, it stops you from being quite so controlling in your artwork. I just love it. I love seeing what comes out at the end of it. It's kind of quite organic. So I'm just adding more and more green here. Now I'm adding an orangey red just to the head area. I'm going to try and leave a little gap for the eye. Don't worry if you don't, I'll show you what we do later. And then we just draw a little, do it in kind of a circle for the eye, all around the circle. There we go. And we let it blend itself in. The yellow's still quite wet, so it's kind of blending quite nicely. Now a very dark crimson for the beak. Leave a little gap in between the beak and the head area because that part's in white, so we don't need to colour that part in. So I wasn't able to leave a little gap for this one for the eye. So using a Q-tip or a cotton bud, I'm just removing some of the paint, and then I'm going over the circle part in red again. Now I'm adding the branch that they're sitting on. Now we're going to do some negative painting, which means that we're going to leave the areas that we want to show that denote something. For example, the feet, we're going to leave that in white. So here I'm just drawing the little toes, and I'm leaving them all in white. Because lovebirds have kind of a very whitish grey feet. Just adding a bit more brown. I'm doing the last foot here on the left hand side. Now once I've added all the brown areas, I'm going to add a bit more dark blue, so an ultramarine colour, just down here, just to show the areas in shadow, to make it look a little bit more 3D. Now I'm just adding a little bit of dark brown and blue just to the underbelly of the lovebirds, just to show the areas in shadow. We can correct the eye area, either using white acrylic paint or Tipex as I'm using. Just draw a big circle for the eye. Using a black Sharpie, just draw the pupil in black. And then just add one little blob of white just to show the reflection of the light. Now I'm cutting it out. And once we've cut it out, we can stick it onto a card. And hey presto, here's your finished beautiful lovebird card. Happy Valentine's!